news, okay? And he did a series called Fallen Titans, and it's kind of showing how like YouTubers died. And it wasn't all just YouTubers. I think there was a few that were not YouTubers. But anyway, it just shows how you can be the biggest thing on the internet, like the absolute biggest thing, and then nothing. Then in a matter of days, weeks, months, just gone. Nothing. Nobody gives a even the slightest lick about you. They don't even give it like the tiniest faint like memory of you anymore. Like, because he does he does all the big guys. Just like he did, like, you know, Ray William Johnson, who was the most subscribed YouTuber at one point. Because it was like Equal 3. Because he did a series called Equal 3. And apparently he also did music? I don't know. Anyway. I think I've listened to a few of his songs. They are what they are. They're YouTube music. They're not great. They're not awful. They're not great. But yeah. Wait, is this camera tilted? I think it is. It is. Oh, whatever. Anyway. Yeah, so, yeah, and then he does, like, he does YouTube comedy YouTube channels, which is, like, okay, that's gonna bother me. That's really gonna bother me. That straight now. No, it's even worse. It's gonna suck. That straight? No. No. That's straighter. There we go. Anyway, yeah, and he talks about like Annoying Orange, Fred, and or is it Fred? I don't know if Annoying Orange is not. Anyway, Fred and Smosh, and how I had the same fondness of Smosh as he did. Basically, I liked watching them as a kid for some strange reason. I didn't like how like weird and vulgar and crude they were, but I could see their like how they worked and why they were popular. Like Ian and Anthony's chemistry worked on camera, on stage, on camera, right? And then their videos were like half decent. You know, they're funny, or they were entertaining in some fashion. Somehow they were like okay. I don't know, but I remember them now, and I just go, I like this. Every time I remember them, like, now, thinking of them now, I'm just like, I like this. It's like, oof. Ooh. Now, I'll still pull out a few videos here and there of theirs from way back in the day, and I'll go, yeah, I like this one, or this one. But them as a whole, it's kind of like, yikes, I like this. Anyway. And Fred's just annoying, stupid. I never thought Fred was great. Now, there was one Fred I liked. It was Fred, or I don't know what it was called, but Fred, he interviewed a bunch of people in, like, public. It's just funny. I think it's, like, slightly entertaining. I'm not sure. It's not great. Like, all of Fred's just So, and then he's done, like, what else has he done? He's done, oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember some of the people he's done. Oh. He's done... oh my god, I know what he's done. Anyway. Yeah. And he's done people like Tobuscus, where Tobuscus is very much... what was he? He was like a very not... what's the word I'm looking for? Very... I don't want to use the word ostentatious, but like very eccentric, I guess, like vibrant guy. Like personality was very like expressive and like and then, but he wasn't great. I remember thinking back to him and going, he was one of the people that go, I liked him. Oh, he's got nothing. There's nothing to him. There's nothing to this guy. Now, don't get me wrong, he's not the worst YouTuber, but, like, he's not great. He's remembered for weird stuff too, because he's got like different eras. He's got like the early stuff, which is like skits and weird whatevers, and like a bit of music too. And then he's got, but it's like more just like sitting and playing the guitar in front of a camera. And then he's got like the later stuff, which is like music, vlogs, animations, and all that stuff. And then he's got like Let's Play stuff, which Let's Plays are not great. But people remember him for Happy Wheels. They remember him for like three or four things. It's so you either like him for the music that he did, you either like him for his animations he did, you either like him for his like literal trailers / like ranty, win cute fail or like that kind of stuff, or you like him for the Let's Plays, and specifically Happy Wheels. Specifically Happy Wheels. For some reason, everyone remembers him for Happy Wheels. Like, that's what I like him. But then I look back at some of the Happy Wheels, and I'm just like, there's nothing to this guy. This guy has nothing. This guy has absolutely nothing going for him. He does voices, and that's about it. Because that's what I think. That's what I remember. I remember watching a YouTube video, okay? And it was a guy. It was one of those, like, top 10 YouTube channels that just have a bunch of, like, video game footage in the background, and then they talk over it to make like a top 10, and it was like channels that are dying. And Tobuscus comes up and he goes, I don't even get this guy. Why does people like him? He's just a voice. All he has is voices. Without the voices, he's nothing. And I thought, yeah, pretty much, because it's very empty and very, very awkward. If you watch some of his Happy Wheels, it's like, what is this crap? What is this garbage? You take out the voices, and if you just listen to what he's saying, it's very, what? I'm entertained by this. I don't know. I don't care, really. He's not a great YouTuber, I'm sorry. You think back to him and he just goes, ooh. Well, it doesn't help that he also had, like, drug problems and sexual abuse allegations, so. But I'm not going to go into that, because that's a whole different thing. But, that doesn't help. People claim he's done some sketchy stuff, so, he has substance abuse and stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay, hey, whoa, like, and again, I don't care, because I don't really care for him. I'm one of those people who are just like, okay, because I don't care, like, I don't remember him super fondly and like, oh, I love this guy. This guy was like a like a legend in like his YouTube history, right? But I don't hate him, so I'm not like, yeah, he's a piece of garbage, he should be rotting in hell. No. So I'm in that like weird middle part where I'm like, okay, great, whatever. Who cares? And he tried to come back, what was it, like a year and a half ago, or a year ago? Year and a half ago, something like that? From not really doing much on the internet. And the problem with him is, he's trying to do what he did before in a YouTube that's completely different from when he actually was making, like, was consistently making stuff on YouTube. So, it was very much just weird and awkward, because, like, this is not the same YouTube that you were a part of 5 years ago, 5 years prior, around, about 3 or 5 years prior. It changed very much. But, yeah. Yeah, it changed very much, and so it's just like, ooh. So, he's just awkward, and I watched a few videos, and he's just like, because he's like, what do I do now? Because he did a few live streams, I remember that, and he tried to, like, be the same thing he was before, but it didn't work, and, like, it was just awkward, and it didn't work, in my opinion. But, I mean, it's not like it's horrible, but, and then after the whole sexual abuse allegations, you got two people. The people who defend him like, no, he could never have done that, and the people who are like, oh yeah, he's a piece of garbage. Like, I don't. It doesn't matter what you try and say, you're a piece of garbage. But anyway, because so many people have said that group of people who don't agree with him is because so many people have said he's a awful human being. Therefore, they just believe, okay, well, now I don't believe anything he does. I hate this guy now. Even if it's all lies, why would he lie about it all? I don't know. You know what I mean? Anyway. So, yeah. And then if we go back to Smosh, they had, like, everything at one point. They were, like, the most subscribed YouTube channel at one point. It was crazy. They had, like, 5 channels. They're, like, the first multi-channel. They weren't a network. So they weren't, like, those networks, right? They were more, just, they had a lot of channels. It was these multi-channels. They had like Smosh, Smosh 2, Smosh Vlogs, Smosh Games. They had a website. They had lots of stuff. It was a lot. Like, they were like the big people. And for a long time, at least this is my opinion and this is what I feel, they tried to add a whole bunch of other people that just nobody gave a care about. They just did not care. Because I feel like, I don't know. I know Anthony left Smosh because he's just like, this is really hindering my creative endeavors, hindering my creative process. And I'm like, whatever. I don't care. It sounds weird because that's the whole thing. Smosh is Ian and Anthony. And so you try and put all these other people in, whether it's Smosh Games or Smosh Vlogs or Smosh whoever, these other people who are just like, I don't care. I just don't care about you. Where is Ian and Anthony? Just where? Where are they at making skits? Just give me another, like, decent skit. Because they tried to branch off from skits, too. It worked somewhat. Because they did, like, Smosh Mail and Smosh Eats, or Lunchtime with Smosh. Mealtime with Smosh and Lunchtime with Smosh. That's what it was. And I remember watching so much of Lunchtime with Smosh. Just so much of it. I think Ian and Anthony worked very well together, and it worked in, like, this, like, improvisational, like, comedy, like, lunchtime thing, you know? I don't know, to me it worked. And that's why I guess I liked it. But I stopped watching them because I went to camp one summer not the entire summer, I went for 2 weeks. And then when I came back, there were so many videos that I hadn't watched of theirs, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to binge all these videos. Because I use their app, which I'm gonna say right now, was absolutely fantastic. Just fantastic, like, the best. Right? Just absolutely. Because it took, like, 5 channels at the time, I think, or 3, no, 5. I think it was 5 channels at the time. I might be wrong there. And basically turned it into one place that I could go to watch all of it. I didn't have to go fiddling around and subscribe to 7 channels and find the right thing. And also, I didn't have to wait for, like, I'm not going to watch any of these, but I'm going to wait for the shows I like. No, I could, like, go on the app and, like, look, I want Mealtime with Smosh or Mealtime with Smosh or whatever. But I went to camp that summer for 2 weeks. I came back, and I was like, I need to watch all these videos. I'm like, oh, I got to catch up on all the videos. And then I stopped, and I went, I didn't need it for 2 weeks. I tried it, and then I just, like, I stopped watching them for a few days, and I went, I don't care about these people anymore. Because that's what happens with a lot of people. They get to about the age of, like, 15, 16, and they realize, wow, these people are, like, I don't know, whether it's immature or just not entertaining anymore. You just kind of lose interest in them. You're like, ugh. Anyway. Yeah, so I'm not saying they're bad YouTubers, but... And now it's just weird because we're, like, it's trying to be not Smosh. Because people are like, but where is Ian and Anthony? Like, this is just weird. How are they... And they're still making videos that get a million views video, but, like, it's just not the same. It's hard to explain, but it's just not the same. Anyway, that's just that. He also did a video on retrospective look back at the YouTube annotations. Now, if you don't know what annotations are, they were the, like, YouTube bubbles you could put, like, they would pop up on top of a video to, like, you could use. Now, there are 3 kinds. There was speech bubble, there was there was text bubble, speech bubble, and then like I don't know what it was called, but it was like box, annotation box, where you could put like anything inside. So you could put like a link inside of it. So a lot of people would put a link to like a different YouTube video in it, because the whole point of annotations was it came out in 2008, and one of the first videos using it was a video of that magic ball, like cup ball trick, where like you have the one ball under 3 cups and you have to like watch it, and then at the end of the video it like gave you an annotation on each cup, and I was like, well, which cup's it in? And then you'd either get like a video that said like, congratulations, you're right, or like a nope, you're wrong, try again kind of thing. And so that was like the point of it. It was supposed to make like interactive choose your own adventure stories. And when it was, and I'm like most people, right? I'm fond of them. Like I like them when they were used properly, when they were used right. But the problem with annotations is they were never used right, like 90% of the time. Or okay, maybe not 90, but like a huge chunk of time, it was just the thing that everyone hated about them. Speech bubbles / text bubbles, where they would just pop up and like obscure the screen, and just they wouldn't add any value to the video, and they wouldn't add something you couldn't either put in the description, or I don't know. You could have just not, no, because a lot of it is just like a fart joke in there somewhere, or like a text bubble over like some scene in either a cartoon or a movie or something. It's like, why? What is this? This is saying some weird thing. It's like, I don't know. It's just bizarre in my opinion. Now, it's not the worst. You remember when those were used correctly? They were good. Because those that was supposed to be used for like inserting something later in the video to like correct something. Be like, oh, okay, no, I got this wrong. This is what I meant, or well, I forgot about this, or whatever, right? But they never used it properly. It was just too big. And then they had annotation collaborations. Is that what it was called? Basically, where you could put annotation. Anybody can put annotations over your video, like add annotations to the video, and those would just get ridiculous. The videos would be just like disgustingly filled with annotations, just like it was bad, right? To the point where the video was just completely 100% unwatchable. Just like no. That it was unrecognizable what the video was supposed to be. Anyway, when they were used right though, they were great. Because I remember a series called, I don't remember what it was called, but or was Mario Kart in real life, I think? Something to that effect. Because there was like Mario Bros in real life, and then Mario Kart in real life. Mario Kart's the one I saw first. And I remember it being great, because what you would do is it was a whole story too. It wasn't just like a Mario Kart. It was like a whole Mario story that you would stop, and then you would choose your different, choose your own paths. Now I get it. I get why they got rid of them, because they got rid of them. In 2019, they said, no, forget it. I think it was 19, could have been 18. I think it was 19. But, and that's the thing. Because they stopped the addition of annotations, right? You couldn't add annotations, right? But then they got rid of them completely, which made no sense when you think about it, because there's a whole section of these of videos on YouTube now that are just weird, like where's the big pauses in the videos, first of all, like at the end of the video, or random videos that you're not going to ever understand the context of, or be able to find, because they're not linked in annotation. Like, there's no annotation to see them anymore, and so you just are like, huh, what? And then if you do stumble upon them, like, you're not going to find them, but if you do stumble upon them, you'll just be confused, because you'll be like, what is this video from? Why is this? What? Huh? What? Huh? What? Like, you're not going to understand what this video is. You'll be like, huh? Anyway, I understand why they're getting rid of them. They're useless. They are absolutely useless. Yeah, so, yeah, okay, it's recording. Yeah, so, yeah, I realized why they got rid of them, the annotations, but it's just weird now that you're gonna find so many YouTube videos that just have like no context to them. So what like nobody will understand what's going on, why they are, what they're from, what they're supposed to be, where they are. Anyway, I never cared for annotations really. I was like everybody, right? When used correctly, they were good, but otherwise they're just absolute trash. Like absolute garbage, because the text annotations did not do a damn thing. Like they didn't add to the video in a way that I went, oh good thing you said that, or good thing you did this, good thing you did, like, no, sorry. Also, I didn't watch a lot of videos with annotations, but every time annotation came up, I did like everybody. I tried to find where to click it off, or I went to the bottom and like I toggled annotations off. I was like, this is stupid, useless. Anyway, yeah. He also did a retrospective on Garfield, and how Garfield is turned into this weird cash cow of like, nobody cares about the comic. The comic's just kind of, you know, barely surviving on like life support of like, it just kind of barely exists as like a good thing anymore, and now it's just the brand of Garfield. Which I completely understand. I completely get. Now, see, watch all these videos. Go watch these videos. They're great. Quintonreviews. Anyway, there's a retrospective, and it's like I understood him completely, because the whole thing of Garfield was a cat. Okay, the whole thing of Garfield was John Arbuckle, a comic strip about John Arbuckle, who happened to have a house cat, and that's it. It wasn't about Garfield. But it turned into being about Garfield, right? And the thing with it was, because it turned out to be Garfield, people liked Garfield. The Garfield was, and so that's why people like Garfield. Like, it's a Garfield thing. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. And so it was about that. And so, and he was just a cat. All at the beginning, that's all he was. He was just a cat. He was just a cat, and all he was doing was being a cat, a house cat. You know, that's it. And then he turned into this weird thing of like trying to be more than he is, or like they tried to make him do things because he was a cat. He just he didn't care for John very much. He needed needed attention. He loved food, sleeping all day. He couldn't decide if he wanted to go inside the house, outside the house. You know, it's the cat things, you know. If you had a cat, you know he's just a cat, right? And so, and John wasn't a great character, but if you, like, actually, like, think about him and break him down and look at him and whatever, he's not a great character. But he's supposed to be the whole, like, thing of the comic anyway. And, yeah, because he's very, not a very good people person. He's not a good socially. He's so bad. But that's the whole thing of John. So, anyway, because John's supposed to be a cartoonist. I did not know that. I thought that John was, I don't know what he was, but he's supposed to be a cartoonist, a freelance cartoonist. So, anyway, and see, like, people don't like Garfield. I think people don't like Garfield's the comic book, like the comic strip, anymore, because it tried to continue and be more than it was. Because you watch him in different things like the 80s comic, the 80s specials, they were okay because they didn't try and be crazy out there, right? And get him to do stuff. But if you watch something like the Bill Murray movies in like the 2000s, those were bad because they made Garfield do more. Like, this is not Garfield. Like, what are you doing with this? This is not Garfield. Garfield does not care for any of this. Garfield does, and that's the thing too. In the first movie, Odie, so John gets Odie, and it's like, and then Odie gets kidnapped, and then Garfield cares? Garfield hated Odie. So why does he now magically want to save Odie? I do not get it. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, because it's like, wait, but why? Why do you care? You hate that dog. You hate him. What do you care? Anyway, it doesn't feel like Garfield. It's like, Oopsies, trying to get a fly off the... No? Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so... What? Whatever. It's a cash cow. He made the point of, if you got rid of Garfield right now, the comic strip, if you got rid of the comic strip part of Garfield, right? Garfield was still making billions of dollars because Garfield is like millions of dollars because Garfield is Garfield, and people like Garfield as a character. But the strip itself, it's okay, it works. I don't know, because that's the thing. I equate Garfield with something like Calvin and Hobbes, where like they're in the same era, like time around. I mean, Garfield started earlier, way earlier, like almost 10 years earlier. Like, I think Calvin and Hobbes is 85 to 95, and Garfield is 78. Anyway, but the reason they're liked, like something like Calvin and Hobbes is like beloved, and it's like the best comic strip ever, and like people love it, and they still read them today, and they're like, he's like going that, like Calvin and Hobbes is in history book, comic book history books. It's because it stopped, it ended, and it didn't try to be anything else more than it was. It doesn't look like a cash grab, like a cash cow, like oh, I can make money off of you, so therefore I don't give a crap about the comic strip anymore. I'm just gonna make money, you know. And I'm not saying that it's a horrible thing, but it's kind of like, now, if you want a good documentary about Calvin and Hobbes, or about comic strips in general, watch, is it Looking for Mr. Watterson? Where are you, Mr. Watterson? Where are you, Bill Watterson? I think it's that. Let me look. It's basically this guy trying to find Bill Watterson, or no, thank you, Mr. Watterson, something like that. And he never does find him. But he's trying to find why people love Calvin and Hobbes. And comic strips in general. Why? I don't know. It's great. But anyway. Yeah. What is it called? It's Looking for Mr. Watterson. Thank you, Mr. Watterson. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's great. I'm sorry. It's great because at the end, there's a point in there where he explains how Bill Watterson said, they do this like annual, or I don't know if they still do, but they did this annual comic book, not comic book, well, they did this comic strip convention. It's like at a university, and Bill Watterson went up to speak one of these times, and basically said, no, I will never make it a franchise. I will never make this franchise, I'll never make Calvin and Hobbes I'll never make merchandise for Calvin and Hobbes, because he's a comic strip, and that's it. It's a comic strip, and that's it, and that's all. Because he goes, when your comic book characters are selling car insurance, I think you've gone a little too far. And I'm like, wow, that does sound a little bit weird. Because in that, I think in that documentary, he makes the point of, like, Garfield is literally everywhere. Like, everywhere. It's stupid. Like, literally everywhere. It's, like, disgusting how he's everywhere. Now, don't get me wrong. I like some of the Garfield stuff. I had a Garfield, like, window... What was it, like a window crawler? Where you would pull, I think, the back of him. I think it was... I don't remember if he was in two halves or just you pulled his tail. And he was on a window... Like, he would suck him up... He was suction cupped to a window. And then he would, like, vibrate. And I don't remember if he's supposed to, like, slide down the window or if he just kind of vibrated there. But he was anyway, I liked it. It was cool because I like Garfield as a character. Unlike Calvin and Hobbes, I did not read a lot of Garfield comic strip. So for me, as a comic strip, I didn't care much for him as a kid. Unlike my best friend who loved him as as a comic strip and didn't care about anything else about him. He's like, oh, ugh, like, you know, oh, he's not a great character, no, whatever. But hey, what are you gonna do? Anyway, so yeah, that's why it worked. Like the Peanuts selling car insurance looks like it gets a little strange. You know, he's like, no, it's never gonna be merchandise. So there's only one official merchandise, and it was a calendar. That's it. No, two, because there was a clock and a calendar. Because he's like, this should really never exist. There should be no merchandise for them. So everyone makes their fake merchandise for it. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't know. So I think that's why Garfield doesn't work. But isn't beloved, the comic strip, because he tried to be more than he was. He went everywhere, and so you have too many people thinking, God, Garfield is crap. I don't like Garfield. Garfield is a cash cow. Garfield's a really weird... Whatever. Anyway. I'm not saying that he's the worst, and that was a bad decision. He's probably making billions of dollars now. He's probably like a freaking bajillionaire. Jim Davis? Is that it? Yeah, I believe so. But I'm just saying... I understand Bill Watterson and his like, no. He's not going to be a corporate... I'm not going to be a corporate sellout, and it's not going to turn into a cash cow where all I care about is the money, and no, it's going to stay pure. Which, it worked, I guess. I don't know. I think that'll be it for now, guys, so... this was Tacoimposters for April 19th, or the 20th. 2020. Yeah. If you want to ask any questions, comments, concerns, email in the description, tacoimposters@gmail.com. There is a Discord and a Patreon. I'm trying to get the Patreon up and running. I'm looking into it, how to do it all, what to put on, what to do, how to get it running. So maybe I'll have it up soon. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Like, it's going to be stuff. I don't know. Because I don't know what the tiers are going to be yet. But, yeah. Yeah. So I think that'll be it for now, guys. So, adios, mi amigos.